I have only kind of looked like a dude for about 5 years, so I'm like a whole new man. And I like to think of this as like my favorite car to drive. Like I have 2 Subarus because I'm still kind of a lesbian. The unique man mech that I get to drive is the best car, right? But there's still kind of a girl driving, so I'm still sort of like, whoa, what? What is this? Like, why is this straight guy flirting with me? And it's like, oh, that's just what respect feels like. I forgot. But I'm Chinese and Jewish, which explains this. And people are like, you're calves. And I'm like, yeah, I don't work out. This is genetic trauma. I gotta run from somebody. You know, whether it's Nazis or communists, I'm ready to go. Either side, I'm running. There's 3 frozen cats in the freezer because, you know, time management. Like, what did you bring to a relationship? It's like a freezer full of dead cats. So only one of them was mine. I'm not the one who's my partner's sitting there like. Theirs is 2 years old. Mine is only from earlier this year. So I'm morbid, and okay, I had to look at them because you know they're in a box maybe for 2 years. You're all very upset by this, but like they look exactly the same because freezers are very good at preserving them. Exactly the same. They're still soft. I love my cats. Okay. This is where crazy cat lady goes once you transition. By the way, some guys being a jerk about your dog being off leash. Dog I don't have anymore. Not in a freezer. Do you ever notice what straight guys say to dogs when you walk by? They're like, "That's a good looking animal." You know, my dog and your dog are breed. And I'm learning to be a guy, so I was like, oh, am I not supposed to just be like, oh, what a cute puppy? That's not what you're supposed to do, apparently. But it's like, sir, are you hitting on my dog? He's single, but he is underage. And this is Utah, so that checks out. The only animal that I talk about that way is straight men, right? That's a good looking animal. He's like well muscled and breedable. Congratulations on your wedding though. So I was like dating this Turkish math PhD grad student. I'm smart, but like not in an interesting way. Let me tell you about how we met though. So we met on a Grindr hookup, but not with each other. So the first dick pic he sent me was, alright, I couldn't tell if it was hard or soft, so that's starters. It was from above, zoomed in really close to the head, and like blurry. And it was just a blurry shot of the very close-up of the head. And I was like, that's the best thing I've ever gotten. Like, James and the Giant Peach. Well, like, what was going through his mind, right? Well, this person I'm sleeping with, they're gonna really like this. This is what they like to look at, right? Close-up blurry shot of like the opening top. Everyone wants to see that, right? That's what you're looking for. You don't want to see sides, you don't want to see someone turned on, you want to see the head. Right? So I was like, fucking adorable. I'm so charmed. This is the best thing I've ever seen. I have to tell everyone. If we get murdered, which seems, you know, more likely every day, but if we get murdered, this could look really weird. I know frozen cats in the freezer is a little bit high for this household. And any DL guy just feels like you're fucking a straight guy. You're just like, I'm having flashbacks when I look at your boner in khakis. Like, I can't do this anymore. Pick up the phone to my lovely old grandmother, and she says, what about your penis? And I was like, good question. She's like, can you have grandkids? Can you get someone pregnant? And I was that was what was on her mind. She was like, can you give me great grandchildren? And I was like, oh, I feel like a son finally, you know, all right, this is working. It comes with a side of handsome, it comes with a side of being pulled over more often. I can de-escalate men by telling them to chill the fuck out in the man voice, and it works. Like, that would never have worked. But I also can't just yell, you're a Nazi in some guy's face at a protest because I'll get punched now. But there was a lot of like, you'll never be a woman. I was like, thank you. I know, I was really bad at it. This little girl standing in the toy aisle, and some little boys came and were laughing at me, and this is like the 90s, I'm like 39, so this is like the early 90s. If you want to get a sex change, you can go to Sweden, and I was like, what? The internet doesn't exist? Like, what was that? Sweden, you say? What? Thank you for this helpful information, young man. Maybe it's only because she's a misogynist and I suddenly turned into a man and who was giving her advice and she listens to that. And maybe it's because she wanted me to be a successful lawyer or something, you know, a successful woman who doesn't rely on men, and then I accidentally became a sugar daddy because she wasn't preparing me to not become a sugar daddy. But yeah, and at this point I'm like, all of these things are true. It's just additive. I'm LGBTQTIA, all of them. Wow, just check marks. I got so many achievements in this video game. My character's got a lot of extra design features and stuff too. You know, I got the chess mod, really love it. So I was like, dejectedly, people were jerking it and leaving. I was like, that's an experience. I'm gonna check that box. I have now ruined the vibe at this sex party. And who here is a little morbid?
Morbid?
Oh, morbid.
Oh,
Died. Oh. Bummer. I mean, she was old and this Mike died. Mike. I used to be like, oh my god, I feel like a man in a dress, and now I'm like, I'm a man in a dress. I had a tattoo of two of my cats to me and was like, oh my god, that's so cute. And then immediately was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to call your tattoo cute. Because I'm a man or something. It's like a rainbow cat tattoo. You can call it cute. It's alright. You know, she's just trying to protect my masculinity. Right? People are trying to protect my masculinity. I'm like, girl.